All right, freaking nerds, ladies of Dynasty Noobs, Dynasty Nubs. I call it Nubs. Keith likes to call it Noobs. He is the clear and far away front runner, so I'm going to defer to his, I guess, judgment on that. But we're here to break down. What are we doing, Keith?
Well, first off, I thought it was supposed to be noobs, but I just thought you like went full retard that day. It was just like nubs. I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. I like either.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of I have a amputee fetish, so
mm,
that every time I see that league name, I get a little bit of a Nicholas Chubb.
Good one. Yeah, yeah. I like amputees. I'm especially like enthralled with the phantom limb phenomenon. Like I get patients all the time. I swear to God, I have patients like my foot's itching. I'm like, yeah, that's weird because they're gone. They're like, I know it is very weird.
That's
It's a
crazy. Did you
it's
ever
a
get a
thing
hand job? You ever get a ghost hand job from one of them? A phantom
all
ghost
the
hand job?
time. Yeah, they're like I'm touching it. I'm like awesome. Nobody can see. Let's get it on.
What a great way to start a podcast, a fucking show.
Yeah.
I know. I guess we know what we're going to name this one. Uh, but we're here to freaking break down the Dynasty Noobs playoff preview. Just kind of, I guess, break down the season a little bit. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we can go ahead and start off. We'll refer back to the points scored stuff in a minute. Needless to say, Keith is at the very top. Somebody's at number two. I don't know who that is. Somebody with a phenomenal
That's
mustache. That's what I hear.
I was not that your team's not good, but I was kind of shocked that you were up so high. I know you've had a couple of weeks here lately where you really like putting up scary points. When I see 230 and 240, I'm like, all right, that's going to be something to deal with.
Yeah, potentially in the second round, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
we do have some slam dunk playoff squads here. Keith easily is in there. I think you're the number one seed right now, best record or tied for best record with our next person, Tucson Magician, which is Albin,
Yep.
our boy Albin, and then we got flex offenders. Which one is that? What's his
That
name?
is
I don't.
Swoop Corey with an E.
Corey. Okay, there we go. I don't know. You brought you and your crew of flunkies in here, and
Yeah.
I don't know their names all that well.
Yeah, I assembled my crew of flunkies, met you outside
Assemble your crew.
for basketball and pancakes.
Well, we'll say this: we got Corey. He's at 9-3. So Keith 10-2, Albin 10-2, Corey 9-3. I'm next up at 8-4, and then we also have Clint at 8-4. Jeff, whatever
Jeff.
you, he goes by either one, but he prefers Jeff from what I hear.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That
yeah,
got
so
Jeff.
those are the five playoff locks. All eight, are either 8-4 or better. All separated by what? I mean, 2 games really. All five of
Yeah,
us are all separated by.
really, I'm fairly certain that like I think Corey actually could find a way into the 1 seed. If something happens, a first round bye at least.
He could,
Because
yeah. He's
yeah, he's
playing.
he's only
He's
one game
playing
back.
Cam.
Yeah, so he's on bye.
He's on by.
He's
Yeah,
definitely on
he's
bye
got to
this
win.
week.
He's
Yeah.
got to win. Which that sucks for me and Clint or me and Jeff because I'd like to get up to that kind of. I mean, it would be kind of impossible for me to get a bye or Jeff to get a bye, but he really could with Cam. And then we've got you're playing Jason, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about in a second,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
and then Albin is playing Jay. That's kind of a bye as well. Jay doesn't have a very good team.
Yeah, he's struggling a bit this year, but he's working on it. I'm sure, most of the teams actually it's weird how much people are putting up. Like when the season first started and I was putting up like 270, 280, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a breeze. And then as the season went on, everybody's points have gotten better. I'm like, oh, I don't. This isn't good at all.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and but I mean, you still own just from this year. This is the second year of I guess activity. This league's second year. There we go. I had a
Yeah.
mini stroke. It was just a mini one. Um, uh, you've got 4 out of the top 7 highest scores just in this season.
Just in this
So
season, yeah.
I think you'll be okay.
The
That's my
one
thought.
the one's going to be untouchable for a while. That 335 is going to be in stone for a minute, I think.
That's horseshit.
Yeah,
I can't
till
even.
you beat me in the second round or something, and then I kill
I'm all
myself.
right with that. That's all
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
All those years of Russian roulette, and you put 6 in the cylinder this time.
I'm telling you, I'm on quite a streak, so I'm bound to fall sooner or later.
And then we got the 3 teams that are dead as fried chicken. I really like how that is said. We got Velvet Buds. Good God, Velvet Buzzsaw. That's for the potheads out there. Old cowboy Jonathan. I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
is his real name.
It
Johnny.
is.
He likes to go by Johnny. That's what he told me. We got the rebuild. Old Brandon, full of himself as always. Then we got Cam, who has not even paid attention at all. He traded me Miles Sanders for a first rounder and then just declined to put anybody in the starting position that Miles Sanders was in.
When you traded for Miles Sanders, I was like, oh, that's a serviceable trade. And then he goes out and scores 30 his first game you have him. I'm like, yeah, that's serviceable. Serviceable is the right word.
I'll say he serviced me, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Hands free.
Hands free. Phantom service. So those 3 are pretty much dead. So we got what, 8? That's 8 teams accounted for, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got these next 4 here. That's really going to be. Oh my God! I just saw what the name of this is. Clown car double penetration level logjam. We got Tran. Tran at 6-6. Jason at 6-6. Charles at 6-6. And then
Jay at 5-7.
Jay. And Jay's at 5-7. And they're all separated by Tran and Jason are separated by about 40 points, 50 points.
Yeah, it's not too much.
Wow. And then really, I mean, Charles isn't separated from them by too much, maybe 150-ish, maybe a little bit, maybe 160 or so.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun to watch over the next 2 weeks for sure. We got Jason goes up against you. Mm-hmm. So you could really dash his hopes this week.
I could. Or, I could lay one down and dash Tran's hopes, but I don't have it in me.
Which one would feel better to dash their hopes?
Man, if there was only a way for both. I don't have the hatred for Jason you do. I like that guy because he's big and scary, and I try to be friends with those guys.
Fair.
Tran talks a lot of shit, and I enjoy it, but it just makes it so much sweeter, when I can tighten the noose.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we would, just from me and Jason's personal fan. I love Jason, by the way. He's one of my best friends in the world. But when it comes to football, I only want to see bad things happen. So,
yeah, that's how I am with Z Milfson. We're in the auction league together, and we always seem to be like that. So he's got a really good team. They're just they're starting to age out. He's got CMC and Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's got Tyreek Hill, if I'm not mistaken. Like he's got guys that can put up big scores, but for how much longer? Like he's going to have to make a run soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his team right here. He's got some pieces, some younger pieces. I mean, Tyreek's probably got 2, 3 more.
Yeah, probably so.
Good years. T. Higgins, but it's really, I mean, you look at
his issue is quarterback.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He's starting Mike White.
Yeah,
Tua's been a revelation this year for sure, but starting Mike White, and then you got Cooper Rush, Andy Dalton. Why do you have Cooper Rush? That's a different story altogether. And then Mac Jones.
Yeah, I knew he had Mac Jones. I think, the Mac Jones pick, I think he was hoping would be his second QB, which, I think is the plan. Tua's come around, so things are better than they were. But, if Tua hadn't become what he's become, his quarterback state would be just trash, really. And he knows it. He knows he's got to make some moves at QB soon.
I would think so. And I'm just surprised to hear that he's competent in the league, because all the leagues I'm in him with, he's not very good. So
wow.
I'm proud of him. Listen, man, I'm proud of you, buddy. You keep chugging along. You'll get this one day.
Yeah, he's the number one seed in our auction league, and I'm number two. We're like the same record, but nobody's separated by anything. Like I'm looking at the four that are going to get in the playoffs. There, it's like, it really could be anybody. That's going to make it hurt just as much when I lose in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather? This is a good philosophical question. So let's just say for Nubs or for Noobs or whatever. Would you rather? So obviously you're going to get a bye. I would think you're going to get a bye. Let's just say that's going to happen. Would
Yeah.
it hurt worse to lose in the second round or in the championship game?
Probably hurt worse in the championship game, and a step beyond that if it were a close game. If there's
Oh yeah.
something I could have done, a mistake I made with a lineup or something, that's always worse than just getting absolutely smashed and there's no way you could have done it any differently.
So if you lost by like 0.05, I mean that you're.
There'd be bloodshed. My own blood.
Made me bleed my own blood.
Yeah. Somebody would make me bleed my own blood for sure.
And
what about you? Where do you come down on those?
Oof. Honestly, I think I would rather lose in the championship game. Like that, I think that would hurt less because I've done it so much, number one. And then
Yeah,
and then
I should be used to championship losses at this point.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, dude, if you play long enough, like consistently enough, you're gonna have a bunch of those. And it sucks, but at the same, like kind of on the same hand, it's still ammunition for me to talk shit to say, well, I got to the championship. Only the champion can really talk shit to me and hurt me.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, because at the end of the day, 11 teams lost. Whether you lost at the end or you didn't make it, you're still just one of the rabble.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, well, I think we've talked about this. Maybe we might even talked about it on the Dungeons and Drag Routes one, but like it's championship or nothing for me. I don't give a shit about second or third or sixth or 12th.
Yeah,
it's championship or nothing.
yeah.
Like
We've been doing these for a couple of years, so in Noobs it's the same thing. Like, no, I'm to a point now where I need to win a championship or blow it up. Here, I've got a few years, but my team is championship ready. Like I need, you got to win because next year that might be the year everybody gets injured. It's like, okay, well, what about next year? You can't just keep kicking the can down the street. You got to win a title. That's say what you want about Brandon. He is our champion right now.
He sure is. And nobody can take that away from him. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I mean, the inaugural champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just fucked that word up real bad. I'm not even going to attempt to say it again.
Totally fine. It was the mini stroke.
It's been fucking with me. So week 13 meaningful matchups. We already talked about Keith versus Jason. Yeah, man. I would say that's probably an L for Jason, in my opinion. We got me versus goddamn Charles, I think. That's okay. Charles. That's how I'm gonna say his name. Yeah, I mean, and you have a good point in here in the doc. He plays Cam next week.
Yeah. So he's at worst going to be 7-7.
Yeah. So 500.
I'm curious. Like next week, it really could be no change, and it just ends up somebody's got to score some points.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially if all three of them, and then so Tran plays Jeff. Let's see. What do we got prediction? Let's see what we've got. I know these projections are fucking bullshit, but
they're all we've got.
Yeah, this is all we have, exactly. Tran is a heavy favorite over Jeff right now. I'm going to see. Yeah, I mean, and it's really not the case of people not setting their lineups. It's just more.
Yeah, I think Clint Jeff may have he might have a guy sitting he hasn't fixed yet.
Well, he also is missing Kyler Murray this week too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he's missing Kyler Murray. There's a few things. He does have a few moves he can make. Actually, I'm not going to tell him what they are. Well, he knows what they are. But fix your lineup, Clint. We don't want Tran to win.
Well, The thing about Tran, man, Tran is 6-6 now and is scoring points, and will just now probably be getting Chase back.
Oh, he has Jamar Chase too.
Yeah,
Oh, buddy.
yeah. Your buddy Tucson decided he wanted to shake things up and just traded him Diggs and Chase.
Albin, why'd you do that, man?
Get on him.
I mean, and then the fucked up thing is Albin is 10-2, so I can't really say shit to him.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
he got fair value for guys.
he is what? Shoot though, Albin's on a 2-game losing streak, 10-2. Lost his last. I mean, speaking of streaks, your boy's got a 6-game win streak, but we ain't talking about me right now.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's see who we got here. We got Albin versus Elon or versus Jay. Albin's fighting valiantly, but in vain for the number one spot.
Yeah, but in vain. That's
vain.
But in vain.
I wanted to make sure I highlighted that, emphasis right there for you. And then I mean, this is a big, meaningful game for Jay. Honestly, if he doesn't win this game,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because
I mean, I assume he's 5-7. I assume he's got to win both and score some points.
Score some points, and he's got to hope for just a collapse by one of these 3 6-6 teams.
Yeah, hopefully Tran.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that for sure.
I love you, buddy. I'm going to talk so much shit there.
All right, Swoop. It says Swoop goes to 10-3 with a first round bye. He's got that week 13 Cam bye, so that's a hell of a time to have the Cam bye.
Yeah, these last two weeks, I think who's got them? Who's got the bye next week? Jason.
Let's take a look here.
It's Jason or Charles, I thought.
It's Charles.
That's right.
So I mean, that looks good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Charles, watch him, Charles. If you lose to Cam, you have to. I'm kicking you out of the league.
I almost lost on the Cam bye. He scored 160 somehow, and I only scored like 170. So, like, it was close. I know. I don't know what happened. I think I had like everybody on bye that week, even though I was on bye.
You were overlooking your opponent. That's really what it was.
Yeah, it was no respect for the bye team.
It wasn't. And then we got freaking Jonathan and Brandon in a game that no one cares about, that they're both hoping they lose.
True. I didn't look to see if they have their own draft picks or not, but if they do, they're definitely like tank bowl for sure.
Let's see. Yeah, Brandon does, and then let's see, Jonathan does as well. Damn, Jonathan's got 5 third-round picks in the 2023 draft. Just stack those third and fourths, my man. Those are the real high-value picks there.
He's a shrewd businessman. He'll probably package it for you, jump up in the second.
Good. Well, he's got fucking 4 seconds as well. So,
okay.
My man is he's stacking picks. That's for sure.
It's supposed to be a deep draft. I hope it's that deep.
We shall see.
I don't have draft pick. Oh wait, I do have one draft pick now. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I gotta prep for my one pick.
Make sure you do some research, man. Listen to some podcasts and
it's the day after I win the title, it starts. The real work starts.
God damn it. Oh God. All right, week 14. We got the flex offenders versus myself. That's a big game for him, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, if Jason somehow beats me, if Tucson Magician loses, like Corey's in the prime spot to jump up for that first round bye. Could be interesting.
I'd like to knock him down a peg, to be honest.
Well,
I'd like to peg him, is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's a lot of man there. Like y'all, doing some of this stuff.
Some meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
As our esteemed colleague who is not here tonight, who was not invited here tonight because his internet connection is terrible. Cam would say.
I feel like that is the case.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that game is really for him. I believe it'll have seeding implications.
Hmm.
For me, I'm not sure that it would. It would like once again, it would take you or Albin losing 2 games in a row, and I just don't see that happening for either one of y'all.
Yeah. And really, we talked about this before, and it's not just being nice, but you know, seeds 3 through 6 are all solid teams. Like there's really no jockeying for position. There's no easy spot.
No, there isn't. The first round is going to be it's going to be like a damn. Well, I was going to say NFC. Let's say NFC West from 2021, where every team was just freaking great except for the
Right.
Seahawks. It'll be like the NFC East or the AFC North of the mid 2000s when all the teams were good.
Yeah, that's fair. It's weird. I keep forgetting that Cleveland was ever good. It's so rare, and they run their organization so poorly. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Nope.
Fucking up the quarterback market too.
That's really the worst thing they've done in several decades. Is just, you know what? Let's pay this man $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and to be honest, as a fan, I don't mind their contracts being guaranteed. But I only like it because it keeps you from giving people 7-year backloaded deals.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a fully guaranteed deal, it's gonna be like for 3 years usually. Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, agreed. Get your money. I wish they would do that. Honestly, I really wish that they would. This is a whole different thing, not to do with the league, but I wish that they would do that for like rookie running back deals. If you're a rookie running back taken in the first 2 days of the draft, you ought to get fully guaranteed money for a decent amount because they're going to run your ass into the freaking ground. And
that's true.
You're not going to get a second deal. I don't think there's going to be any more. Like Josh Jacobs, for instance, amazing year this year he's had so far.
Yeah.
This is they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. He's 24. What team is going to pay for that much?
I don't know, and he's going to want, Ezekiel CMC type
Derrick
money.
Henry, yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. I mean, who can do that? I'm trying to think of a team. I mean, what Philly? They want to let Miles Sanders go and then bring in but
that's just silly, yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to have to pay Hurts soon. That's the thing, man. The quarterbacks are taking up such a big piece of the pie.
Yep.
If you don't win with a rookie quarterback or a quarterback on the rookie deal, you're almost hamstrung. If a quarterback doesn't win a Super Bowl in the first 5 years, they're almost not going to unless they're like a journeyman type who walks into a Trent Dilfer like perfect scenario.
Surrounded by Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and
yeah, that helps.
All right, we got Albin versus Clint. Yeah, neither, like you said in here, no danger of really missing the playoffs for either of these two guys.
No.
So I would honestly, man, I think I would just take the favorites in all of these for the most part. I mean,
yeah, I didn't look at like their bye weeks or anything. I don't know who's I don't know who any of their big stars is on bye, but I imagine if they've got some stars on bye, that's a problem. But other than that,
yeah, that's true. I don't even week 14. I want to say they have 6 teams on bye. I'm going to look 14, that up real quick.
14's a tough one because I know I've got a few players out, so I know like the Saints are on bye. I'm not sure who else. That's really the only one that pops in my head.
Trying to see. Oh yeah, no, that is true.
Is it the Saints? Yeah, I think Cooks. I think I've got Kamara out.
Yeah. Trying to see who's on. Whatever. It's going to take too long for me to freaking figure that out, so I'm not going to worry about it. But no, that's a good point, man. If one team has, I don't know, whoever, if it's Alvin Kamara, that's and you're like vying for a playoff spot, that is a problem.
Yeah,
And
well,
then we
these super late buys, man, especially in some of these other leagues where your playoffs start in week 15. There's a lot of people. I mean, I know ours do too, but they're 3 rounds. But some of these leagues, man, where you need to win in week 14, and there's 6 teams on bye.
mm,
It's like the NFL doesn't even care about fantasy.
as much money as fantasy brings in, they ought to.
Yeah,
Golly.
that's true. I mean, fantasy's bringing people who never even cared about the sport to watching it.
Yeah.
Like diehards. Like, who's your team? I don't know. I just like fantasy, but I watch Red Zone every week.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. More
And
odds, man.
and there's more, and there's a massive crossover between, or cross section, I should say, between bettors and fantasy players. And now that a lot of states are making it legal, like I
Hmm.
know as soon as Arizona made it legal, I bet every single week, not astronomical amounts of money
Yeah.
like Tran. I don't have the amount of money that like Tran has.
No, he's got like a Scrooge McDuck money bin. He's not telling us about it.
He sure ain't. This freaking guy. Well, speaking of Tran, he's got Jay in week 14. Um, once again, I can't see unless I can't see Jay making the playoffs unless we have an epic failure from one of these 3 6-16s.
Yeah, I mean, Tran, if he finds, if Clint finds a way against him this week, and then Jay could beat him next week, Jay's got a shot, but Jay's still got to leapfrog Charles, and who's the other
Jason,
6-6? Jason. I mean, it's tough.
and he's on as far as points go. Let me see here. What did we have him as? Ooh, yeah, he would have to. He would basically have to outscore Jason by about 250 points, and
Ooh,
Charles by about 115 points
yeah,
over the next 2 weeks.
that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's achievable, but that's rough.
Oh, it's yeah. The way some of these scores are going, like you could definitely outscore somebody by 75 or 80 a week. But why would it start now? You know what I mean? Unless you just catch some really hot matchups.
I mean, with him getting chased back, Tran, that is,
Oh yeah, with
that
Tran
might
getting
be,
chased back, that's going to be a big problem. Outscore, beating him, but even if he loses, he's probably going to put up points.
yeah. Well, then the bad thing for Tran, really, Tran and Jay, I would say, is Charles and Jason are on bye in week 14 with the
Yeah,
Cam and the I think it's Brandon matchups. So
yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
gonna
rough.
be yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I think I put it in the doc, but if I were a betting man, I would bet on Tran to end up with the last playoff spot. But really, it could be any of those three. Yeah, obviously Jay is the long shot.
Hmm. Yeah, I like how you put that on there actually. So we got, let's just say, let's take your scenario that you put in the doc, for instance. I'll lay it out and then I want to hear you talk through it. So Tran gets a 6 seed. That's going to be Tran versus Corey in the 3 and 6 matchup.
Hmm.
Um, Corey, oh God, that confused the shit out of me. I said Corey with an E. And then Clint versus myself in the 4-5 matchup. And then let's say you get the 1 seed and Alvin gets the 2 seed. Talk me through that playoffs right there. I want to hear the
Yeah,
fear in your voice. No, I'm just
the
playing.
no, they're. I mean, like I said, you guys all have legit teams. You and Clint both. Um, yeah, your team has been pretty hot here lately, though. Um, Momentum is a bitch, and it needs to stop. Like in the next couple weeks, like you got to get back down to like 215. Like I'm comfortable with. I need you at like you're at 250. I need you at 210. You know. Um, but I know the studs on your team. I'm not as familiar with Clint's team,
I'm
but
gonna
to
look it
be
up for you right
to
now.
be 8-4 and have that level of points, there's plenty of meat on the bone.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean he's got Kenny Walker, um,
Mm.
Brian Robinson Jr., Michael Pittman. To be honest, not a huge fan of his team. Christian Kirk has been a revelation for him
Oh,
for
so
sure.
so you're telling me it's smoke and mirrors, Clint? He said
Let
your team
me.
is smoke and mirrors.
I gotta see something here actually. Uh, to be honest, it sure might be. Okay, he's
How
got
many
the.
points has he given up?
That's the thing. He's got the second fewest points given up on the year.
Oh,
Only, only,
okay.
only. I guess surpassed, underpassed, whatever it is, by
Underpassed.
Albin.
Yeah,
Underpassed. We'll go with
underpassed is
that.
what it is.
Yeah, it's
Really,
perfect.
Albin's down there too, huh?
Yeah,
Hmm.
but Albin has also scored a lot of points, whereas
Yeah, he has.
Clint is. Jason scored more points than Clint. Um, Tran has. Yeah, I mean he's probably sixth in points scored, sixth or seventh. I can look at the doc real quick. Clint, that
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah, he's seventh in points scored, and second fewest points scored against. I mean, he
That's
called it in one of our other leagues. He said he was a paper tiger.
Yeah, he did. He did. I didn't do that deep of a dive on the points scored versus points against, so that's interesting. That lends itself to you having a pretty decent matchup in the first round. Like, your second round matchup is just the worst. Just,
It could be
I
better.
mean, just yeah, it's awful. Um, I'll tell you though, losing Cup, man, losing Cup and Goddard. I need to get Goddard back for sure. He is a mighty flex option. But
Yeah,
I
this is
mean,
tight
if
end premium too, if I'm not mistaken.
it might be, but I'll tell you, if I had Cup and Stafford wasn't dead, I wouldn't even pay attention to who I was playing. Like I wouldn't even look. I'd be like, who did I beat yesterday?
Yeah,
That would be my question.
I wouldn't blame you. This is a tight end premium league, so getting Goddard back would be very nice for you. A godsend, even.
Yeah, like what you did there.
You see that?
I need for Mark Andrews to stop dropping wide open touchdowns.
Oof, that was rough.
Sunday, he looked like he was knocking it down. Like he looked like he was playing.
He said, "Not today, Lamar."
Dude, did you see? Like I was watching Red Zone and they kept going to Lamar. I'm like, oh, this is the one. I think it was Duvernay dropped a touchdown. Mark Andrews dropped a touchdown. They reversed a rushing touchdown. I'm like, I gotta stop watching this.
They were
I'm just
like,
getting like my temperature. It was freezing in my basement, and I was just burning up. Like I'm just
your blood pressure is at 180 over
so
100.
pissed. Yeah, like, it felt like my hands and feet were throbbing.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
was so bad.
They're like, "Oh, Keith has him. Yeah, fuck that. Reverse that."
Yeah.
The
They're in on
refs
it,
are
man.
screaming. Yeah, the
They
refs are
know.
screaming at Devin
Well,
Duvernay. Drop it.
that's where I'm concerned with how far trans reach really goes. Because I
He's
think
got that sort of money.
he's talking to people that talk to people, if you know what I'm saying. I don't like it. I don't
This
like it
guy.
one bit.
Then we got what do you think about Tran versus Corey in the 3-6?
That's if Jamar Chase is back, I still think it's a pick 'em.
Mm.
I don't really like Corey's team is not smoke and mirrors.
No,
He's
it's not.
scoring and he's got some guys that have popped off. Like he's been up in the 260, 270 range quite a
Mm.
bit. Like I said, the Jamar Chase scares me just because we all saw what he did in the finals last year.
God, yeah.
The 50-point game that won any. Like if you had him on your team, it's like, hey, congratulations, you won. I want to talk to the guy who lost with Jamar Chase last year.
He's not around. He killed himself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's dead as fried chicken.
He's dead as fried chicken. I mean, what I can see, my thought is kind of almost an exact same scenario from last year's playoffs. A second round exit for you by yours truly after you got the bye. Just to rub it in 2 years in a
My
row.
team last year, though, man, like I knew they had the bones to be good, but I did not deserve a championship last year, and nobody deserves one. but I'm pretty proud of the team I built. I'm not gonna lie. Like
You
I
should
would
be.
should like I go around to malls and I'm like, hey guys, check this out on Sleeper. What do you think of this team? They're like,
They're like,
I don't know what that is. Like, you got to understand, it's great. You just have to just trust me. It's awesome.
like, sir, please get away from my family.
Oh no, bring the kids. Let the kids.
They
let
gotta
the
see
kids
this.
look upon my bounty.
What is? Don't you have some sort of perverted name on there too?
What, my team? No, no,
Oh, never mind. That's
no. It
me.
is
Never mind.
yeah. Yours are always terrible.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean they're not safe for work.
No. Well, I mean, I think honestly, the second round, whether it is Corey, whether it is Tran versus Albin, that's going to be a heck of a matchup. I'm going to
Right.
go ahead and call it and say that it's going to be you and I playing in the second round. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. Both of our
Yeah.
blood pressure is going to be. I struggle with blood pressure as it is, just from I don't know.
I don't, and I'm typically even tempered. That'll be the day though.
Hold on a second. Isn't the second round of the playoffs around Christmas time?
I believe.
I'm pretty sure it is because I think the championship.
God.
I think championship time is. No, it is.
It's either
Christmas
two.
Day is the second round of the playoffs.
See, I was hoping it was the week before, so you can show up here and one of us can be real pissed off.
Just start fighting. What's up, Keith? You son of a bitch!
Look, I thought we were playing poker today. Keith and Eric are outside. They're just fucking each other up.
We're just like, I hate you. Just whoever lost is just crying hysterically.
I mean, I might cry if I win this title. I'll probably cry, just because I feel so bad for all you guys, because you didn't really have a chance. It's like how I feel when you see those dogs that don't have back legs but they have like the wheels. That's how I feel looking at you guys. I'm like, look at them, man. Look, bless them. Just bless them.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Well,
somebody oil those things, man. They're creaking.
That was the most creative and hurtful insult that I've received thus far.
Yeah, I'll start sending videos to the league chat of just those handicapped dogs.
Oh shit. Yeah, man, but I tell you what, it actually has been a pretty fantastic year. I didn't have a lot of expectations for Dynasty Noobs because it was kind of like we started that new league and then we've got the other one that's been around for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it's actually been fun. I'll tell you this much, Keith, and I think you might agree with me on this. It's a lot more fun when you're winning.
That is a fair assessment. And I'll tell you what is also fun. Everybody's active, I think. Charles hasn't traded much, but he's going to start. He's going to have to start. Like, he's getting his head wrapped around how some of these trades don't, on the face of them, make sense because you're looking at, long term. But he'll get in the mix.
So that's who you were talking to me about in our DM message. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
it was him, but I didn't have confirmation. But I mean, Charles, that's an old man's name. And he's got to learn some new tricks. So, call yourself Charlie, reinvent yourself, and then you might understand better.
He and I are of similar vintage. So he's got to come around. He's got to come around. I'm just like, I was talking to your brother when he was trying to hustle me out of Justin Jefferson in another league. Yeah. And
sounds like him.
I was telling him how I went against my instincts to just take 6 RBs in the first 7 rounds, and I took wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver in the first 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was so strange for me. And even you and Jason commented, they're like, he never does that.
Yeah, no. But it's a different, it's a whole different mindset. Yeah. Even from a keeper auction league, it's a massive different mindset, So.
Yeah, that's true. It's fun though, man. Like I said, the league is active. People are shit talking, which is obviously, whether we've talked about this too. Whether I'm winning or losing, I'm going to talk shit, and I love people that also do that, because the second best thing to talking shit, backing it up, is talking shit and being trash.
Yeah, a
Absolute
true
trash.
heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Just an absolute scum of the earth. Just, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
I embrace I embrace the scum of the earth. They're my people. I'm
Hell
one.
yeah.
I'm one with them.
Yeah. Salt of the earth, my ass. Give me that scum. So, I mean, I guess the overarching themes here today, whenever y'all watch this, Tran has a lot of money, and
Yeah.
he's not afraid to bribe NFL officials to sway
Yeah,
it his way or the other.
I just gotta get more money. I gotta get more money, man. I need $1 more than Tran so he can stop fucking my world up with these refs.
That heroin you were telling me about earlier, you could probably maybe start selling that.
That's that's for the party, man. This is a party, man.
And in case any FBI agents are watching, that is an absolute joke. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't. Please
please
don't
don't
cancel me. You can drug test me anytime. Just whatever you got to do. But
don't.
so you ask me who I think is. Obviously I think I'm going to win. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, what do you think? You don't want to
If I
say it, but
no, if we put odds on it, right, you'd probably be
Mm,
minus 200, minus 200.
mm.
I'll be honest with you though. I have a weird, and I don't go off of feeling much. I'm a pretty analytical guy when it comes to like fantasy football and shit. Um, I've got a weird feeling that I'm going to take this league. I'm just telling you that right now.
That's probably
Uh,
hemorrhoids.
I am very uncomfortable sitting on my butt right now. I don't have any pants or any underwear on either, so that might have
Oh
to
yeah,
do with
me
it.
neither. Well, I do. I've got
Yeah.
boxer briefs on, but I got the dick through the hole, so it's
Oh,
it's
nice.
out. Yeah, it's
Good,
airing out.
good. Can't have a sweaty dick on a podcast. That ain't no good for nobody.
I mean, you got to stay comfy.
Yeah, no, man. I would say this is your league. Barring it would take if let's just say you and I end up in the second round against you. It would take some sort of catastrophic like three of your top guys have just a terrible week, and I
What
would.
concerns me about your team is both of your running backs or both of your quarterbacks are runners. They are run first. That is, because I could have a super flex quarterback throw for 303 touchdowns to get me like 18 points,
Mhm.
where you could have Jalen Hurts run for 157 and 2 and score 35 points. So if he and Fields can both blow up in the same week, that is a concern.
Yeah, I like to think that my IDPs are pretty damn good in this league too.
Yeah, yeah,
Gabe,
they are.
if Gabe Davis could have another, AFC Championship type of game, if I play you in the second rounds, I would welcome that. That would be fine.
What's going to be funny is I traded him away, so it would be fitting that he stabs me in the face.
Stabs me in the face right behind my back.
Yeah.
No, honestly, quite frankly, like it makes me feel the same. Like if you and I play against each, because not to be like braggart, but a little bit to be a braggart. I do think I have the second best team in this league, regardless of record. I really don't care what anybody else has to say about it, except for you because you're on the thing with me. So I kind of have to care. I don't, but I kind of
For
have
yeah, for now we'll
to for
pretend.
now. Yeah, pretend exactly. But it's kind of like if you and I play each other in the second round in Dungeons and Drag Routes. I personally think we have the two best teams.
God,
And
you're
it's
just
just not fair to either one of us, to be honest.
yeah, you're just gonna wreck me. If I manage to hang on in Dungeons and Drag Routes, somebody is going to stomp me out, and I'm gonna be weirdly okay with it because it's gonna give me the green light to blow it up.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man, other than that, I mean, I do like I like Swoop's team, Corey. I
I do
like
too.
Corey's team. I think he's a dark horse to come in and do some damage, to be honest. He's got a hell of a team. I think it's what we said it was just his Yeah, his quarterbacks are kind of
If I'm not
his quarterbacks
mistaken,
are pedestrian.
who are his QBs? I thought he had one really good one and one kind of middling.
He's got Aaron Rodgers and Geno Smith.
Oh, that's right. So like
But
after this year, he may not like he's going to have to do it.
yeah, I
Or
mean Geno Smith had we remember that run kind of in the beginning of the season, weeks 3 through 5,
mhm.
QB7, QB2, QB4. Since then, it's been 19, 15, 13, 5, awesome, 11, 11.
Yeah,
So
he's holding the fort down, but he's not winning you weeks. And Aaron Rodgers is coming around, but now that he's injured, Corey might have Jordan Love.
he does have Jordan Love. So he
Okay,
has,
so
but he also,
he won't be stuck without a QB.
he won't be stuck without a QB, but it's just, when you're entering this time of the year, you want to be at the top
Yeah,
of your game. You want
the
to have
the
momentum behind you.
yeah, I'm trying to be at the peak of my powers once the playoffs start, but you know, it is what it is, man. He's been scrappy. He's been scrappy
He
for
has.
sure.
He has. And then, Albin has a good team as well. Any team with Josh
Hmm.
Allen on it is just any team with Josh Allen that doesn't make the playoffs this year, they are a terrible fantasy manager. I mean, they just are.
Yeah.
But I'll say this about Albin. I'm looking at his team real quick, and I don't want to drag this thing on forever. He's got Josh Allen. He has Jameis Winston, Kyle Allen, and Zach Wilson, and Sam Darnold. Those are his next QBs.
Well,
That's
here
rough.
here lately, I haven't been starting a QB in Superflex in my flex spot.
Oh, you're giving your secrets away?
No, but I mean everybody kind of see. We've had quite a few people bring it up. But it's just because of matchup based, really. But like last week, I had Goff, and I've got Goff and Derek Carr. Neither one of them went like super crazy, maybe 11, 12 points. But I stuck P. Ryan in there and got 18. But it'll be matchup based. But like you have two running quarterbacks, so you are starting
Yeah.
two QBs 100% of the time.
And I have nerf. This league did nerf passing quarterbacks pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Which is,
if y'all didn't,
I lost Lance really early. Like my plan was to have Lamar and Lance and, just rushing floor. That's all I cared about.
yeah,
Like Lance is, I don't know what's going to happen with Lance, man. I mean, what if Jimmy Garoppolo takes them to the Super Bowl? You can't then go, well, it's Trey Lance's team. Like,
yeah,
is it? Is it though?
yeah. Was that? That would be 2 in the last 3 years. Garoppolo led them to, or 2 in the last 4, something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I suppose if you wanted to cut your losses and trade Lance for a couple of firsts or something somewhere, Seattle, but Pete
yeah,
Carroll doesn't want that.
no, and not in division either.
No,
Carolina might do it.
I mean, they're drafting a guy. They're going to be a top 5 pick.
They
They're
will.
taking somebody.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a heck of a freaking playoffs for sure. And I'm excited to see these next 2 weeks. I'll be honest, I'm more excited that I'm a lock for the playoffs and I don't have to worry about any of this other
Right.
nonsense. And we should have said this earlier. I neglected to. You, Albin, and Corey y'all are legitimately locked into the playoffs.
Yeah,
There is no
yeah.
way you can.
I knew there was a couple. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
really, what would have to you lose both your games and you and Clint both are 8-4, right?
yeah, I would have to for me personally, I'd have to lose both my games and get outscored by Tran by like 130 points over the
Oh,
next two
okay.
weeks.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
It's
Clint.
funny. It's funny how in the two leagues we've talked about, like there's 3 or 4 people jockeying for one spot. Like 5 spots are just about solid.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. And we might have to do our other league too because we've got. I'm gonna look at that one real quick. Sorry to bore the shit out of everybody, but 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 teams at 6-6 in our like money league.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
That shit is crazy. So we might have to do one on that one too,
Yeah,
just for shits and
those
giggles.
those IDPs, man, are making the games like you're getting literally your brother passed me in the last minute of Monday Night Football.
He
Like
was telling me about that.
people are going down to the wire with these games. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome, but
Yeah.
I hate being on the other end of it.
hmm And I was telling him too, this is probably superfluous information, but like I really do believe that we could even keep the settings. I might tweak them a little bit, but I do believe the cream is going to rise to the top in terms of like managers and
Sure.
who really understands what's going on. It is chaos scoring, but if you have that safe floor with your offensive players, it's going to take you'll have to have at least 2 quarterback hits to have your player get 40 points, your IDP.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Those QB hits, man. I was actually telling him, he was like, "Well, what would you do with the scoring?" I'm like, "Well, interceptions 5, sacks 5, QB hits nothing because it's a stupid stat."
I love how much you hate the QB hits.
Oh man, I hate QB hits like I hate kickers. And any of my flunkies know how much I hate. Every year I'm like, can this be the year, guys? Can we get an extra flex spot? Like our auction league did go to Fab this year. So good looking out,
Hey,
Jonathan. Hey, yeah, baby steps. It's only been 10 years.
yeah, it's fine. You got to take some baby steps.
Yeah, it'll be
It's all
good.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
by the
fine.
time I'm dead, like when I die, they'll be like, you know what we need to do? Get rid of kickers.
They'll call the flex spot the Keith spot. It'll be a nice memoriam for you.
Man, yeah, dude, that's like, if you were on the ships in Armageddon and, save the world, like everybody gets a middle school named after him, right? Like I'm just trying to be the guy who ended kickers.
That's it. Yeah.
So bad. I mean, I'm sorry, kid. I mean, you guys are important to the game, just not this game.
Not fantasy. You're not important to that at all because you suck, and it's too much. But
Got you,
anyways,
Justin Tucker. You're that guy. I get it.
even though he couldn't hit that 67-yard field goal, like a nerd. What a weak
Yeah.
leg, Come on,
What a loser.
what a loser.
As soon as he missed that, I'm like, I sent my auction league a chat. I'm like, see, that's why we shouldn't have kickers. This guy's the best in the world and missed a 67-yarder. How dead on was that thing, though? When he
Dude.
kicked it and they were showing the view from behind, I'm like, oh my God, if he hits this, the real thing is, if I'm playing in a league where he gets 6 points for this field goal, I'm killing somebody.
Yeah. Or yeah. So I always thought it would be cool if you had to have a freaking kicker, make it incremental. 0.1 point for every yard that the kick goes through. If it's 45, there's 4.5 points. If it's 67, there's 6.7 points. That's brutal.
It's
But it makes
fun.
sense.
Does it? I hate. I don't know, man. My whole argument against, I'm like, okay, I'll be in kicker leagues, but every field goal's 3 points, and they're like, well, why? I'm like, because every field goal is 3 points. Like kickers don't get yardage, so your score is 3 points. It's just like if you throw a touchdown, whether it's 1 yard or 50 yards, you get 6 points for the touchdown. If
Yeah.
you want to do the incremental thing, I've thought about that too. I'm almost okay with that. But don't just be like,
Almost.
well, he hit 60, so it's 6. I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I hate it. That's just a Yahoo thing. Well, I guess all of them do it now, but Yahoo started it, and it's just hog shit.
It's horse shit. Well, I hear my freaking kids yelling in the background. I don't know what's going on back there. So I'm going to go spank all of them. I don't care if
Nice.
they're happy or mad or sad. I'm just going to spank them.
I mean, they got it coming.
That's
sure.
the kind of dad that I am. No. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure doing another one of these with you, Keith. We'll have to get another one going for our other league here soon. That would be mighty, mighty fun. But anything you want to say to your flunkies before we go?
No, man. They know the deal. Kickers are terrible. Start trading more. That's by the way, in the auction league, I joked around just now about saying start trading more. There was one trade. One.
The whole time?
One trade.
Nice.
And it was me and Jonathan. We're always dealing.
Hell yeah.
Heroin.
So, Jonathan, hit me up, man. I'll trade you some stuff. And Keith will tell you I'm a fair and equitable trader as well. So,
yeah, you just got to keep him honest. That's all.
all right, buddy. Well, I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Y'all be good.